That's what I'm doing today. If you watch our show on Thursdays, 10 o'clock local, 1 o'clock Eastern, called Tech Take, we've had Eric on before talking about technology. Today we're having him on the hunt to talk about how these smartphones could in effect mark the end of privacy. But, you know, Eric, I got to make the argument that privacy's already gone with smartphones. I have a buddy, I'm not telling you how I know him or what he does, but he basically says that, you know, Adam, in 5 minutes, I could basically find out your entire life, what time you get up, where you go.
Give up your fingerprints.
Everything.
It's a little bit different. Give up, you know, facial recognition. It's a little bit different. Then it's everything. But, you know, more importantly is, I mean, look at the apps. You know, like Nielsen just released an app, and I read a story in Newsweek about it. I had downloaded it. It's just about what I like in TV, but turns out it's more than that. Nielsen wasn't like so forthright in what happens when you download an app. And so I did a little, you know, research, and I found this federal case. It's, you know, the CEO lives in New Canaan of Nielsen. He's feuding with a neighbor. It's a federal case. And I looked at Nielsen, and I said, like, I got to question their corporate ethics, the way they treat their vendors, the integrity of their data. And I did all that because I downloaded an app that I thought was just an app to talk to me about TV. Where it led to me was this federal case with Success Systems in New Canaan, Connecticut, with two neighbors feuding, one big guy, one small guy. You know, it's really surprising to me when you look behind the curtain. It's not just your fingerprints. It's not just facial, you know, recognition. It's everything. You know, I got a new smartphone this past weekend. I spent the whole weekend opting into giving away everything. And you're right. Most of us already have. We just don't know it.
Yeah. Which smartphone did you get, by the way, just curiosity-wise?
Well, I gave up my BlackBerry. I got the Samsung Galaxy, and I got the iPhone as my backup.
You're
shaking your head.
I can't do it.
Yeah,
I have
very difficult.
iPhone. I have an iPhone. Go ahead.
I got BlackBerry withdrawal.
You know, I've had the BlackBerry since the first one. Fox got me back in 2002. I have the iPhone 5, which I'm thinking about upgrading, but I'm not sure if I want the thumbprint or not. But I do want more memory. It's a long story on how that happened.
Yeah,
you don't
have to. Here's the thing about all of those things, and any app there is, it's up to you. Do you say yes?
Right.
Do you opt in or not? Opting in makes life easy. Everything is so simple. We can figure out everything. I mean, all of this technology is intuitive about us. It'll tell us what what we should be wearing based on the weather of the zip code that we live in and the traffic based on the route that we take. But you got to opt in. I mean, just like that. You know, I mean, the Nielsen app seems pretty, I don't know, innocent enough, but it's not.
No, not necessarily. First of all, I still have my BlackBerry. I got the Mega, the Galaxy Mega, and I got to tell you, so I have three phones now, and the things, I love all three. The new BlackBerry I'm hoping to get with still the keyboard. I think it's the Q10 they call it. I've messed around with one, but I'm looking forward to upgrading this thing here to that. So I still like my BlackBerry when it comes to emails because we get so many of them here at Fox. But, you know, there's some of these things you don't have to opt in for, Eric. I mean, that's what I think what's so disturbing to me when I heard this from one of my very close friends is that, you know, basically he can legally access my phone and figure out what time I get up, what time I go to work, where my route is, when I go to the store. You can take out the battery from this BlackBerry, from this iPhone, from any of your phones.
Absolutely.
You can take the batteries out. You can put the phone here. They can still access the camera. They can still access the microphone. I mean, these are disturbing things. And what really frustrates me are two things. One, my hometown in Napa Valley. They're now conducting a study because they want to know what traffic patterns are because there's so much traffic in Napa that they're going to actually access all of your license plate information and your phone information to figure out, really? Do we need that in Napa, California? It's not Los Angeles. You're not driving the 405.
This is the thing about some of this new technology is, and you and I have spoken a little about this before, is what the entire country doesn't realize is we've already opted in, whether we did or we didn't. It doesn't matter what the bells and whistles are that we're opting in for. Because all that's true. You know, you can take the battery out of your phone and I can still watch you in your bedroom if I felt like it. You know, and so can anybody in intelligence. I'm not in intelligence, but anybody can. As we all now know from Edward Snowden. But nobody knew, hey, take the battery out of your cell phone. I could watch you on TV in your own home. I mean, you didn't ask for any of that. You didn't opt in for any of that.
Right.
But now, what's happened with, and I believe it'll come to the forefront on privacy issues, if you're going to give up your fingerprint, and you saw what Franken said yesterday, I mean, your fingerprint is you. your face, which, by the way, Facebook's been doing for, I don't know, a couple of years now at least, facial recognition, it's you. So you want to give up your fingerprint. You only got 10. They're all unique. You're the only one that has them. I think now we're going a little bit overboard, and I didn't think people realized it before, but now I'm going to give you my fingerprint. Forget about my mother's maiden name or the street I grew up on or my first pet. How about my fingerprints? Just so I can sign onto my phone or with the Galaxy to hold it up, because nobody else can read my Galaxy unless I hold it up and it's my face. I opt out for that.
Yeah, and we have to go, but the other thing that's really disturbing as well is that when they come out and the NSA and this administration says, we're not recording anybody, we're not doing that, they're playing with words because A, they aren't because they're having outside people do it, contractors, and B, record is a word that's not even used anymore. They're not recording, but they are cataloging and keeping every single one of our conversations. Right. So if they have to go back, if all of a sudden Eric and I are talking on TV and Eric happens to say something that's controversial that potentially could mean it's a security threat to the U.S., it takes very little for them to be able to go to a judge and say, Eric Yaverbaum said to Adam Housley that, blah, 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 and they can go back and get every single one of your phone calls, your messages legally and keep it and read it. And people don't realize that at home.
And
that may not be recording, but it's
keeping,
and it's wrong.
Right, yeah, I'm just a TV guest. Why do I got to be on a watch list for saying this stuff?
I know. Well, I obviously probably am now. But the point is it's baloney, and I think people really need to pay attention to that. And it's something that we all need to continually watch because it's getting worse. And now, as you mentioned, facial recognition, eye recognition, and fingerprints are all going to be on phones. People are giving up basically everything. And hell, you might as well just each day get up and just write in, here's what I'm doing, big brother. Here's what I'm doing today. Here's where I'm going. Here's where I'm eating. And and make sure you get that sort of attention to them before you go and do whatever you're going to do that day and get permission, really.
That's right.
It's annoying. Sorry. I'm over it, though.
To say the least.
Eric Yaverbaum, we appreciate you coming on, talking about everything phones and security. Good luck with your new phone. You're going to have to go back to your BlackBerry at some point, I believe. You can find Eric on his website, ericopr.com, ERICHOPR.com. We always enjoy having you on, and I'm sure we'll be talking about this again very soon, probably on Tech Take. Thanks, Eric.